Hello VC, Big Star 1000, back with Revolutions, I think number 23. I hope everyone's well. Very hot day in Melbourne today. It's Friday night. It's about 35 degrees Celsius. You can see I'm... and so to celebrate Friday night, I have a Bohemian Pilsner and beer from Western Australia, I think. So cheers to everybody, and I hope that wherever you are, you're not too cold. I'm gonna get started with a bunch of, I've got about 20 records or 15 records, no CDs this week, so I hope you enjoy. So what have I been spinning recently? Lots of different things. In particular, this guy, Bill Withers. Don't know why, I'm in love with Bill Withers at the moment. I just seem to be playing his records a lot, and this is a fantastic place to start. Adjustments, or it says plus adjustments. I guess it's adjustments. A fantastic third, I think, record. This is an original pressing on Sussex. At the moment, in the background, you probably can't hear, but I'm playing Still Bill. I don't know why. Just have a real affinity for the sound. He's got the funky meets soul sound. It's amazing. Bill Withers. If you're not into Bill Withers, if you like folk and if you like soul, they go, he matches it perfectly. It's from 1972-73. Here's another great classic record. This is Acid by Ray Barretto. Not as psychedelic as it seems to be. It's a salsa record from 1969, I think, or 1968 on Fania Records. It's really funky and it's really engaging and really tribal in places. It's salsa, so it's super cool, and I love this music. I love Fania, and I love Latin music. And Ray Barretto, from New York, of I think Puerto Rican origins, but a New Yorker, really. Central to the sound of Fania, especially with his congas. And much like I've had a Bill Withers sort of revival of late, the same can be said about Archie Shepp. And I have loved Archie Shepp recently, and I've played Attica Blues. This one is on Impulse. It's a reissue. Sounds great anyway. I don't mind it being a reissue. Very sort of soul jazz oriented. People would say it's a little bit spiritual as well. But, you can choose to tag it the way you want. It's a stunning record, which came out in 1972 on Impulse Records, and has a monster lineup. I mean, there's just so many people on this thing. I don't know. Marion Brown is on this, Clarence White, Leroy Jenkins on violin, El Shankar also on violin, Dave Burrell, Jimmy Garrison on bass, Billy Higgins on drums. It's just a cast of thousands. It's dope, absolutely dope. And also this, which I enjoyed so much the other night, Blase. This was on Big Actual, BYG Actual, but it's in English repress on Affinity from the 70s, I think, and yeah, 1970. So this was recorded. This is from 1969, I think, and it's recorded in France. Blase. with Lester Bowie on trumpet and Dave Burrell again, Malachi Favors on bass. So basically you've got the art ensemble of Chicago playing on this. It's quite superb. I really recommend it. More jazz. This is actually something I picked up quite recently, and I didn't show in my recent vinyl finds. I forgot about it or something. It was very cheap. It was like $5, but it's a great record. Gil Evans, Svengali. Gil Evans was Miles Davis. He was to Miles Davis what George Martin was to the Beatles, I would say. And this is a great big band record. It's really fantastic, and it's got Billy Harper on it, and you know, Bill Harper is, you know, Tendon Dunbar on guitar, and Hannibal Marvin Peterson. This is a great record for $5. You couldn't. I mean, if you find this, please do buy it. I was telling Andrew's Cham Sound. He was the one who really inspired me to pick it up, because I have had this record in my hands so many times over the years, probably 10 times or more. And I've gone, oh, do I really want it? And I was talking to Andrew, he was saying, oh, that's a great record, pick it up. So I found it for $5. I just picked it up, it's great. This is one of my favorite sort of ambient electronic records from the 70s. Is Upsilon in Malaysian Pale by Edgar Phroso, who recently passed away. This is an original on Brain, and this, I've told the story before, but this is an interesting story. The ferns that you can see on there, I know the guy who produced Cybertron, and he knew Edgar Phroso pretty well. And he told me the story that they went up the mountain, which is just there. Like, I live at the foot of that mountain, and that they went up there and they took photos of those ferns on my local, you know, mountain 5Ks away from here. It's this great, and I decided actually to play this because I was walking up the mountain and I saw ferns, and it reminded me of it, and I thought, oh, let's put Edgar Phroso on there, kind of a tribute. It's a great record. In a totally different register, here's what you would call the Egyptian Sun Ra, Salah Ragab, with the Cairo Jazz Band, playing a record called Egyptian Jazz. It's on Kindred Spirits. It came out last year, I think, or the year before. I don't know, 2009. I don't know where I thought it came out last year. Maybe it was repressed again last year or something, I don't know. It's a fantastic sort of cosmic space jazz type of record, with a bit of vocals, and it's amazing. It's from the 70s, 60s. Now, look, here's the album I played the most in the last few days. I'm totally in love with this record at the moment. It is Animals by Pink Floyd. Just love this record. I think Dogs is the best Pink Floyd song, full stop. It's just so good. And another personal story is I actually used to, that's 15 years ago, I used to live opposite the Battersea Power Station there in London, and I'd see it every morning. I lived in Battersea. It's a great building actually. This is an amazing record. If you're neglecting animals in your collection, play it today, you'll be stunned. Now, here's a record that you probably wouldn't expect to see me show you here, but I have to confess that I'm a sucker for pop music, and this band in particular just hits the spot with me for I don't know for what reason. It's probably one of my early youth favorites, and the band is Trampy. Yes, indeed. I just love the first three records from this band, Breakfast in America and Crime of the Century. I just think they're just so well crafted as records, and I don't know if it's not your bag, I just love this record, and I played it the other day, and I just I enjoyed it so much. It reminded me of being like 18 years old or something, and playing this in my cassette Walkman. Crime of the Century from 1974 with School and Bloody Well Right and Rudy and Dreamer. It's just a perfect progressive pop record. I just think it's amazing personally, and if you don't, doesn't matter. On a completely different plane here, we've got a French guy who is sort of obscure-ish, Guy Skornik, and the album is called Poor Powers. I don't even know how to pronounce this word. Poor Powers. Stunning kind of, again, progressive pop, but French style and a bit more sort of avant-garde and Supertramp, I would say. But from 1970, yeah, great LP, reissued a couple of years ago, I think 2 years ago, by Lion Production, which is a Light in the Attic kind of affiliation. And if you want a good track, listen to Qu'est-ce que le Dream, which is great, fantastic. The Robert Wyatt Odyssey continues, and in my next vinyl finds I will show you a couple of Robert Wyatt's titles that I have bought as a result of the book to fill some gaps in my collection. I have almost everything Robert Wyatt's, but there's a couple of records I didn't have, so I bought them. But this one I had, and I played it, Old Rotten Hat. I always love this sort of simple sort of iconography on the front cover. It's on Rough Trade. It came out in the late 80s, or maybe even mid 80s, 85 or something. And it's, it's a bittersweet record. I don't know how to describe this. It's not Robert Wyatt's best effort. It's not his most essential record, but it's kind of, it's tinged with, a sense of melancholy, It's a nice album. The other day with Teddy, I was having a chat on YouTube, and we were talking about Kind of Blue, and he was saying, this is one of these reset buttons records. One of the records that you put it on and it just resets everything that you spend all your time trying to find cool records, and yet we have already the best records that exist, and we put them on, and we just, it just sort of wipes the internal disc in our minds. And Kind of Blue is that kind of record, and to me, Blue Lines is exactly that kind of record. It resets all my settings when I listen to music. I put this on and it just completely wipes the slate clean. Makes me appreciate my collection more. This is just one of my top 10 records, and always will be, I think. Massive Attack, love this record to absolute death. Every song is a masterpiece. I can't say too much. 1991. Now another reset button record is this baby here. If you don't have Journey in Such a Lander by Alice Coltrane, you are sorely missing out. This is an absolute scorcher of record, featuring Pharoah Sanders and classic kind of lineup: Cecil McBee, Charlie Hayden, Rashid Ali. It says everything you want to know about sort of avant-garde jazz. And on a non-avant-garde jazz, but just as essential in a way, is this Dave Brubeck Quartet Time Out. Obviously everybody knows this. I'm not sure I need to talk about it, but I just felt like listening to Take 5 because it's such a cool song. Great tune from the 60s, or the late 50s, sorry. Yes. So, there's that. A couple of German sort of, what you call it, masterpieces, really. I mean, I'll just take a sip because it's really hot. So it was last night I played those actually. One is Agitation Free with Malesh, their first record, reissued a couple of years back, 2012, originally from 1972. Kind of a world fusion krautrock rock record. Lots of world influences. You can see by the Arabic writing there, you know, that there's definitely something to do with sort of Middle Eastern tinge to the music. This is a must if you like krautrock. It's fantastic. And also, this also is completely mesmerizing as a record. The New Age of Earth by Ashra, which is basically Ashra Temple, Manu Goching, and this is on Virgin. I think it's an original German. I've got the feeling. It's just a stunning sort of cosmic record, a bit like the Edgar Phroso that I was showing before. Completely essential and great record from 1977 on Virgin Records. I'll finish off with 2 or 3 records there. Here is a soul folk, kind of a sleeper of records, and I've got to thank Chris for 4127 Basket in Switzerland for pointing me to that record a while back. It's Linda Lewis Lark, which is on Reprise Records UK from 1972. It's a lovely soul folk record, a little bit like the Bill Withers that I'm listening to, but the female answer to that. And Linda Lewis was English, or is, I don't know if she's still alive, I've got no idea. This is a lovely record from a lovely lady with an angel's voice, really. 70s. This is, I think, an original press. Fantastic. This morning I was ironing my work shirt to this Body Meter by Ornette Coleman. Kind of a late or mid-70s avant-garde jazz with lots of guitar and kind of like a James Blood Alma meets Ornette Coleman record. I think James Blood Alma even plays on this. I look at the artwork in this thing; it's fantastic. I bought this a while back and I haven't played it for a while, so I'm glad that I pulled it out. It's got a great label. Body Meter 1976 on a label which is called Artist House. Yes, but I do think that James Blood Alma actually plays on this record, hence the really gritty guitar sounds. I always have a spot in my heart for Ethio Jazz and most notably Mulatu Astatke. This is a great comp. I don't really do compilations, but for this one I would. This is it's great hits, lots of Latin jazz, Ethio jazz, just in the way that he can do it, and it's effortless really. It's called New York, Addis, London, you know, places where he played. Addis is where he's from. The man is a legend, really. I mean, amazing. And I'll finish with a San Francisco post-punk classic, Chrome half machine lip moves from the year 1979, 1978. Chrome was like the answer to sort of Cabaret Voltaire or Public Image Limited, but American, you know, and from San Francisco. So, I mean, when you come from a town where the other crazy band is the Residents, you can only produce some quirky things. So that's my last one, and this is a great record. Highly recommended. So I hope I'll be back with a recent Vinyl Find soon. But I like to show 10 records every time, and I don't quite have 10 records that I want to show you. So, but everything in good time. VC, I hope you enjoy this installment. I hope that you're not too cold, and I will see you in the comments if you dare to tread in the comment section. Thank you, VC.